Three can keep a secret if two of them are dead. Have You Seen Me seamlessly picks up where Gossip Girl leaves off, but with more sex, more lies, and more dead bodies a la How to Get Away with Murder and You. When a coveted member of a group of entitled yet ambitious 20-somethings goes missing, their deadly secret is threatened to be exposed. But the real question is, who will be next? Read Have You Seen Me by creator Candy Washington on Amazon Kindle Vella, or listen and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So this is an impromptu live about Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're going to talk about friendship dynamics and relationship dynamics. I was just doing a live on the channel about how to heal and end friendships. And Donna D and I were chatting in the chat box, and she was asking me great questions. And she's like, oh, this reminds me of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's talk about it. So I was like, you know what? Let me jump on and do a Love and Marriage Huntsville open chat impromptu live. So any questions you have or comments about Love and Marriage Huntsville, let's do it. Put it down in the chat box. Let's do this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share this with a friend, like the video, and comment, because that really helps me out. So with that, let's get into it. So we were talking about Melody and Melody's friendship dynamics with the ladies. And then we were also talking about Kimmy's relationship with Maurice and how she was projecting with Martell. So let's start with Melody and the ladies. Now, I called Melody a wannabe queen bee. And the reason why I say that is because, in my opinion, she has kind of devolved each season. You kind of see, like, season one, I was so team Melody. I thought she was so cool and put together and all that. And she is. I mean, she's gorgeous and she's bomb and all of that. But what I mean by she's kind of devolved is the way in which she interacts with other women and the friendship dynamics that she has, to me, has really shown a light on a lot of things. Season one, she was BFF with Tisha. And then they had a big falling out. And then she didn't have time for Tisha and all this other stuff. And then she brought in, who was it after that? Her and Kimmy's relationship has always been kind of cordial and cool, because I think that Melody knows she can't really come at Kimmy sideways. Like, she knows she can't really ever check Kimmy or come at Kimmy like that. Hey, what is up? Hey, Tawana. She goes, hello, Miss Candy Washington. I finally caught a live. Yes, what is up? How are you? That's right, you guys. Put it in the chat box where you're watching from. Put your comments and your questions in. We are going to do it. Yes, we are. Hello. Okay. So, that's right. Okay. So Melody is a person who, in my opinion, and this is just based on the show, this is just a light kiki, this is just fun, opinion only based stuff. I'm sure she is a beautiful, amazing woman in real life. I'm only commenting on what she gives on the show. That's it. Nothing personal. I don't know her. Is she's your friend when you can do one or two things. One, she perceives that you are beneath her. And so being friends with her makes her feel like she is the queen bee. She's the HBIC. She's elevated. You know, she's the number one girl in the group, whatever you want to call it. Or two, if you are willing to windmill for her, be her mouthpiece, do her dirty work, say all the stuff that she doesn't want to on camera, on paper, say. So she doesn't want to get her hands dirty, but you can so clearly see her producing behind the scenes, having very orchestrated, scripted conversations. Like, I feel like any Melody scenes this entire season have not been organic. Like, the work is showing. You can see that she's had prepping people, especially with Kiki at the slumber party. That whole scene with Kiki and Melody and them talking about Tisha, that was completely rehearsed. Like, she was like feeding her lines. It was completely rehearsed. Same thing with a lot of other scenes. And so it's kind of losing that authenticity. It's kind of losing that magic. The drama's there, the dynamics are there, but the work is showing a little bit too much, if that makes sense. And then we saw with Melody how she fell out with Tisha. Her and Kimmy have always been kind of neutral because she knows she can't mess with Kimmy. Then her and Destiny came in, windmilling for Melody. Then they had their falling out. Tiffany came in, windmilling for Melody, and now they're so cool, but it's not the same. And then now we have Stormy coming in, windmilling for Melody. So again, I feel like Melody is your friend when she thinks she can get something from you, when she thinks you will windmill for her, and when she thinks that you are beneath her and it makes her feel elevated. That's just kind of what I'm thinking. Hey, Baka, I'm here, but I don't watch the show. I'm just listening in. Oh, good. Yeah. Honestly, this live was completely impromptu from the other live I was doing. So we'll see. So that's kind of what I was getting from Melody. And I actually like Melody, but I feel like, again, the work is showing and there's too much of an inner mean girl there. Like, she gives me a lot of mean girl vibes. But I do like that that she bosses up. I do like how she handles her business. But I feel like there's a lot of, and I didn't like the scene with her and her daughter, where she basically was just like, your daddy ain't nothing, so don't ever be with a man like him. I thought that was really inappropriate and cringy, and I felt really bad for her daughter, because her daughter was just kind of like, I don't really want to say anything bad about dad, but you're making me talk about this. Like, it was just really weird and really, really cringy. Hey, Vaka. She says, will you be reviewing Rolla? I'm enjoying this season. You know, I watched the first episode and then I stopped watching it. I've been so consumed by like the self-care and self-love stuff that I haven't been doing reality too much. But if you like it, then let me get into it. Let me get caught up and let me get into it. But I have been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville. But I kind of stopped. You know why I kind of stopped at one point? When they had the previews of Marcel and Maurice and their family and Miss Wanda, and it's going to like a dark place. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who feels this way. Let me know. I like the show, but I feel like the show is going really dark really quick. Like at the Galentines, like with Stormy and Destiny and Tisha and Melody, like it looked like they were really going there to rumble. Like the show has gotten dark to me. And then I feel like what's going to happen in the upcoming previews, where there's almost like a fight that's about to break out when they're all with their family, it's going really dark. Where I feel like season 1, season 2, season 3, like there was a lightness. It's gone really dark. I'm not sure if that's because of social media, I'm not, myself included, I guess I'm commenting about it, but not in that way. But like, maybe it's social media backlash. Maybe it's all the girlfriend cheating. I don't know. But it's gone to a kind of a dark place a little bit. Anyway, so then I was talking about Kimmy. And I love Kimmy. I think she's fantastic. I think she's really smart, really emotionally intelligent, really amazing. However, I did not agree with her when it came to how she was treating Martell when it came to Jalen's housewarming party. I don't think she was being fair. I think that she was really projecting the anger and the embarrassment and the hurt that she felt when Maurice got called out there for lying about whether or not he was on that guy's trip. And because I think she's unable to really show or communicate that to her husband because she wants to keep her marriage intact, she's projecting a lot of that onto Martell. And he even said that in the confessional, and I agreed with him 100%. It's easier for her to blame Martell for a comment that he did on the post that Marcel posted than to be like, you know what, maybe I really need to look at what that post mean and why my husband lied about it. And I get she wants to keep her marriage intact 100%. I get she's decided to forgive him, and that's fine. I'm not saying he necessarily cheated. I didn't see a receipt that he 100% cheated on her, but it opened the door to it. it created the question where I think Kimmy kind of took pride in believing somehow that like her relationship was bulletproof from the rumors, that somehow, oh, Martell could have the rumors about him, Marcel could have the rumors, but like Maurice and I were good. And I think that kind of put a chink in the armor. And I've seen Kimmy kind of shook ever since then. She seems a little shook to me. And I don't know if she shook because she really thought her relationship was impenetrable, or is she shook because she's worried something might come out, if that makes sense. Hey Tawana, I believe that's the reason Martell wasn't invited to the housewarming party. Yep, but Kimmy needs to know the truth will prevail. Tawana, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. She did not invite Martell because she needed an outlet, a person to blame for how embarrassed she felt for Maurice getting caught in a lie. I don't care. The Scotts brothers want to act like they are these wordsmiths when they're not. They just tell these roundabout half-truths that make no sense, and they talk in riddles until the person is just like, whatever, forget about it. When Kimmy asked him about the cheating, he did not give her a direct answer. She lied to Melody and said he directly said, no, that's not true. He did a whole lullaby, like, I don't know, linebacker, what linebacker? What do you mean? I've been on, like, ew. Dude, come on, dude. Come on, Kimmy, come on. And so, yeah, there's no concrete proof, but it opened the door that something happened. And the fact that he lied about being there, it opens up the question as to why. Why did you lie? What are you hiding? Like, if he would have just admitted that, yeah, I was there, yeah, I saw it, like, whatever, then there would be no pic to post. There would be no backlash. But because he didn't tell the truth, and now he's trying to wordsmith it, like, we're not dumb, we're not stupid. You lied, Maurice. You lied. And I think now the question of why did you lie is probably even more unbearable and embarrassing than having a definitive answer either way. And when it comes to Kimmy, girl, I get it. If I were married and this was my person and you're like, maybe he cheated, maybe he didn't, there's no concrete proof, we weren't married yet, but we were in a committed relationship, we were living together, it still looks kind of crazy. Girl, I get it. I get it. You want to give him an out to keep your relationship intact. I get it. Cool. The only thing I didn't like was and trust me, Martell is no angel. We all know Mr. Martell and his dirt and everything. But there also comes a time where enough is enough. And we have to get off our high horses and humble ourselves. I'm talking to you, Kimmy. And humble ourselves and just relax and chill. We can't, when I say we, I mean like the people on the show. We can't continue to villainize Martell and to act like it's Martell's fault when your spouse is the one messing up. Martell did not make your husband do anything or not do anything. So the fact that you're using the fact that he commented on a post that your brother-in-law posted as a reason why he's problematic and why he can't come to the housewarming party is ridiculous. The truth is, you still have unresolved resentment and embarrassment and hurt because your husband embarrassed and hurt you. And it's easier for you to say, Martell, it was your fault, than it is to look at your husband and actually decide what actually happened. And I get that too. I personally wouldn't do it. I don't co-sign it, but I understand it from an emotional point of view. From a human point of view, I understand it. Of course, it's always easier to say, nope, it's your friend who already, is a cheat. He's already a known cheater. He's already known this and that. It's your friend's fault. It's his fault. It's why Tisha and Kimmy were so shook at the end of the last episode when it was revealed that Martell wanted another Atlanta trip. right? And they're like, why didn't Martell say anything to us about the trip? I didn't hear about the trip. And Maurice was up there lying again. This is the first time I ever heard about the trip. Maurice, stop lying. You knew about the trip. Stop lying. You really think Martell was planning a boys' trip with the entire boys and he didn't tell you? Maurice, you're lying again. I didn't know about the trip. You knew about the trip. You knew about the trip. Hey, everybody. All right, let's get some comments. Okay. Hey, Tawana, she goes, exactly. Linda Drummond goes, but if she's more loyal to Melody, why would she invite Martell? Okay, so good question, good point. This is the thing. And then I'll get back to why Tisha and Kimmy are so shook. Okay. I agree with this. When it comes to friendship girl code, and because it is so volatile and so dysfunctional and so dramatic anytime Melody and Martell are in the same room together and are at events together, for her to say, okay, you know what? It's my son's party. I'm cooler with Melody. She's my homegirl. I love you too, Martell. I think if it was just that, then I get it. If she kept it at, hey, Martell, I'm not picking sides, but I roll with Melody. I'm closer to her. This is for my son. It's not like it's for Maurice's side. It's for her side. So I've given the fact of X, Y, and Z, you guys are always going at it. I asked her if she wanted to come first because that's my homegirl. Girl code, that's my girl. Nothing against you. If she can't come, I would love for you to come because it's nothing against you. It's just the dynamics, and that's my homegirl. If she would have left it there, cool. But when she had to have this conversation with him and she brought up about the post and about how he's so problematic and how he stirs up stuff, that's when, Kimmy, you lost me. That's when I was just like, no, boo-boo. Kimmy, I love you. I actually think she's really cool. However, it is not Martell's fault that your husband lied and that you then became embarrassed and hurt by his lie, because his lie opened up the question of did he or did he not cheat? That is not Martell's fault. And so for her to then villainize him because he did some silly, maybe insensitive, but come on, everybody needs to stop, comment on Marcel's post exposing that her husband lied. He can wordsmith it as much as he wants to, but he lied. To me, that's where she lost me on that. If it was just, I rock with Melody. You two are problematic when you're together. I'm extending the invite to her first. If she's coming, we're cool. We can hang out later, but she's my girl. I think that would be the actual mature thing to do. Kimmy lost me when she tried to villainize Martell for the actions of her husband. That's where Kimmy lost me. And now let's go back to why Tisha and Kimmy were so shook at the end of the episode when Martell revealed, but it wasn't really a reveal because he had said it like last episode. And Maurice definitely knew. Stop trying to play dumb, Maurice. You knew. At least in my opinion, he knew. About the guys' trip to Atlanta. This is the thing. You're shook not because you don't trust Martell, but because a part of you doesn't trust your husband. I'm not talking about the men in particular. I'm talking about in general. Men, women, binary, whatever floats your boat, guys. You cheat because you want to cheat. Your friends don't make you cheat. Your friends don't stop you from cheating. And honestly, it's not anybody else's responsibility to stop somebody else from cheating on their spouse or their significant other. They are all adults. So you're looking shook because a part of you doesn't trust your spouse. If your spouse is going to be faithful, they're going to be faithful to you, whether they are in the same state, in the same country, in the same continent, in the same room, on the same street. If your spouse is going to cheat, they will cheat, whether they are under the same roof, in the same house, on the same street, in the same country, whatever. If someone is going to cheat, they're going to cheat, regardless of where they are logistically and regardless of who their friends are. I know there's this whole thing of birds of a feather flock together. Yes, that is true, but the bird decides who they flock with. So if your husband is flocking with cheaters, it's because your husband is a cheater and it's not the fault of the other people. That's where I see that, to me, is where the disconnect is with Kimmy's argument. You're embarrassed and you're hurt because of what your husband said and did. And you're projecting it onto Martell because it's easy to say Martell's the bad guy than it is to say, wow, this really put a crack in our armor, a chink in our armor, right? Hey, Tawana, in my opinion, they all cheat, and stay tuned. You know what? Allegedly, just based on the TV show, I think so too. I think they all either are cheating or have cheated. I don't think a single one of them have been 100% faithful. I don't see it. I don't see it. Hey, Donna D, I would think a lawyer would know how to answer Carla's question better than a simple no. Exactly. He said the no, and then these producers and cameramen are so shady. Then they panned over to Maurice, or no, I'm sorry, Marcel and Tisha, and they both were like, what the hell you just said? Like you said no, because it was so clearly a lie. Even the way he said it was a lie. And in the moment they even looked at him, right? And this is the thing. I always say this. When you are honest, the truth and the honesty kind of makes you invincible, because it's never the crime, it's always the cover up, right? So if he was just like, yes, I was there, and then he went to Kimmy being like, you remember the guy's trip, Tisha, you knew we were all going out there, no problem. But the fact that he said no when there was receipts, and when his brother and his brother's wife looked at him crazy, that is what actually caused the problem. The problem isn't that he was there. The problem is that he lied about it. And anytime somebody lies about something, the question is, why? Why are you lying? What are you hiding? Hey, Donna D, Kimmy may have been dating Maurice before the divorce papers were officially signed. Oop. So she may have had a little more grace with Maurice than she should. It doesn't make sense to me, though. You know what? Let's ride this hypothetical. Again, hypothetical, alleged. Just for fun, a fun kiki, okay? Kimmy, don't come after me. Nobody come after me. I love you guys, okay? Here we go. But let's ride this hypothetical. So, say Kimmy was dating Maurice before the divorce was officially final, right? And that's why she gets so triggered by being called the other woman, or anytime that's brought up, blah, 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 blah. That is even more of a reason for her to be so shook about the post. Because it's that saying, the way you got him is the way you lose him. So if you know that he already has the propensity to lie, to cover, to cheat, then you know that is in him. So if you know that it's in him, your ego will only let you be in la la land for so long, where you know, well, if he did it with me, what's to say he won't do it to me? You see what I'm saying? Again, this is hypothetical. This is just a hypothetical conversation, allegedly. Because if I'm with a guy and I know I got him on some shady stuff, And we've been saying this whole time, no, 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 no. He was fully divorced. He was fully done. But I know the whole time we were dipping it and doing it when he wasn't fully divorced. Maybe they were separated. Who knows? Maybe the other wife was doing her thing. Who knows? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, because there's a lot of people who are not legally divorced, but they've been separated for years, or the marriage is over and both partners are doing their own thing. Sometimes not being divorced literally is just the paperwork and the money and the legality of it. So just because someone isn't legally divorced doesn't mean they're technically cheating within the realm of their particular situation, right? Because we can't judge, to each their own. But if that were the case, and you're still fronting like, no, 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 he was all the way divorced, I'm not that person, blah, blah, blah. Again, why are you lying and what are you hiding? And now you know that he has pretendency, whatever it's called, it's in him. He has the inclination. He can do it. And it's true. Sometimes it's a matter of time. What they did with you might just be a matter of time of what they do to you. So to me, that would even explain more why Kimmy is so shook. Because this whole season, Kimmy has been shook with the whole Instagram post Maurice stuff. She has been shook. She's shook to the point where she's blaming Martell for commenting on somebody's Instagram post and having that be a reason why he's this evil, mean person and can't come to a party. Come on, miss me with that. Hey, Mrs. T. Hey, Beauty, what is up? Hey, Jessme Cherie 369, by her saying that then Marceau should not have been there either. Exactly. But that's what Martell said in the confessional. Martell is the low-hanging fruit because she knows she's projecting her own stuff onto him. So Marceau can come and you guys are cool, but somehow Martell is a villain because he commented on a post that Marceau actually did. Like, I get it, that's your brother-in-law, that's fam, but how are you villainizing Martell for commenting on a post when you're cool with the person who actually posted it and you've completely given it a pass with your husband who actually lied about it? That's where the disconnect to me is. You want to give your husband a pass and keep your marriage intact? I understand that. If you want to forgive your brother-in-law because you're family, I understand that. But villainizing Martell because you're projecting your own stuff, not cool. And of course, I'm not like a Martell fan or anything like that. Like, we get it. Okay, hey Donna D, it is Martell's fault that the whole relationship came out. If it wasn't for the fact that Martell was the one who got caught cheating, none of it would have came out. No, that's the thing. Like that, but that's not Martell's fault. That's not Martell's fault. He got caught. The fault is that they shouldn't have been cheating. None of them. Or you shouldn't lie about where you are and make it sketchy. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the situation that's messed up. I don't think it's Martell's fault. He just got caught out there. Hey, Jessme Cherie, Maurice never should have lied knowing they took pictures. Exactly. Hey, Linda. She goes, when Kimmy met with Stormy and Melody for lunch and invited them to the housewarming party, did she express to Melody that she will not disrespect her wishes by inviting Martell? She did express to Melody. No, I get that. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the same thing. I understand Kimmy not inviting Martell because she's inviting Melody and that's her girl. We got that. The issue is when she brought in about the whole commenting on a post. If she would have stuck with, I'm rocking with Melody, that's my girl, and I'm inviting her because you two can't get along, that would have been fine. But when she brought in the fact about him commenting on the post, that's when she lost me. Hey, Jessme Cherie, she goes, exactly, yes. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit. And let's talk about Miss Wanda, Marcel, and Miss Tisha. Okay, you guys. Okay. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. I guess I'll start with, to me, Miss Tisha, I mean Miss Wanda, it is, I mean, can you imagine if your mother, again, I'm not speaking ill about anybody's mother. I don't want to, I'm not Candace Dillard over here. I'm not speaking ill of anybody's mother, okay? But could you imagine if your mother treated your husband like she was married to him and basically treated you like you were the help, like you were the side chick? Miss Wanda treats Marceau like Marceau is her man. It's really weird and it's really bizarre. Marceau even said it. He was like, I don't belong to her. The level to which Miss Wanda meddles in Tisha's marriage is astronomical and bizarre. And she does treat it as if she is married to Marceau. Well, you didn't tell me where you were going. People are posting this about you and this other woman. I have this business idea. You need to give me money for my business idea. And then when she said to Tisha, and this is when I was like, this is really sick. Like, this is real sick. Did you guys notice? Was it either the last episode before that, when Miss Wanda said to Tisha, oh, and if I catch him with some woman, it's true, blah, 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 I'm going to be all up in him. I'm paraphrasing, I forgot what she said. But then when she goes to Tisha, and I'm going to get into you if you knew and didn't tell me. Whoa. That is some cuckoo for Cocoa Puff stuff. When she said that she was going to be mad at her daughter or get into her daughter, whatever she said, if her daughter didn't tell her about what her own husband was doing, as if Tisha has to answer to her mother about her husband. Some cuckoo for Cocoa Puff stuff. Absolutely crazy. Jessamy Siri says Wanda shouldn't have been there. No, she should not have been there at all. Jessamy says, Shiri369 says Tisha is weak and a coward. She can't deal with anything alone. Shake my head. I know. It's so sad. And I know that Tisha, it looks like she's trying. It looks like she uses her mom as a mouthpiece at some times, but then other times she can't ever really assert herself to her mother. Like, Marceau is not married to Miss Wanda. He's married to Tisha. And with Miss Wanda expecting her son-in-law to constantly give her money, to basically bankroll her food truck, to keep her looped in about where he is, keep her looped in about who he's with, keep her looped in about X, Y, and Z. Like, Miss Wanda, Marceau is not your man. He's not. Marceau is not your man, Miss Wanda. Point blank, period. You act like he is, and you treat Tisha like she's the side chick. If you knew what he was doing and you didn't tell me, that's going to be a problem. When that is Tisha's husband? I wish anyone would tell me that there is a problem if I don't tell them everything about my husband and my relationship. Could you imagine? It's sick. It's sick. Absolutely sick. Hey, Donna D, production made Kimmy invite Miss Wanda. Kimmy knew Miss Wanda would start trouble. This is the thing. If Martell wasn't coming, they had to have somebody spice it up. And they knew it had to be Miss Wanda because she was wound up and ready to go to start some mess. But again, it's like what I was saying earlier. The show has gotten a little dark to me. That's honestly why I haven't been doing a lot of reviews. It's gotten a little dark. I can't put my finger on it. Like, I've been watching, but I'm also kind of like only gonna watch up to a point. Like when the Galentine's things happen with like Stormy and Destiny and Melody and Tisha, I hated seeing that. I like the fun shade. I like the fun kiki. I like the fun rivalry even, but it's gotten to a point where it's kind of dark. And I said this before. I there's something going on with Destiny. And she even said how she like was going through a really hard time financially with like, everything shutting down and her company not doing as well as it could, then going through the divorce, and how she admitted that she was on like public assistance and going like through all of that stuff. I knew that there was something more going. You can see it in Destiny's eyes. There is something really going on. Like something really, really, you can see it in her face. Like she's holding, there's something, again, this is just my opinion, this is alleged, but there's something truly traumatic going on that she is just kind of like holding it together. I don't know if you guys notice it, but there's something about Destiny where there's something going on where I feel like something really weird, something really bad happened, and she's really has just been sort of like phoning it in almost, like just like on the surface, because if she goes one step deeper, she's going to like crack, if that makes sense. And when it comes to friendship dynamics, I gotta tell you, I'm actually really happy Tisha and Destiny are there for each other. Tisha, when it comes to her unhealthy dynamic with her mother, that is very bizarre, very sickening. She needs to really get her mother out of her bedroom. And by bedroom, I mean her marriage, because her mother is too involved, too in it. First off, if your mother needs money for a food truck, go to a bank, do a business plan, get some founders, get something like that. And the reason why I say that is this. You're going to your son-in-law for money when your daughter and her children and your son-in-law are still living in I don't know what to call it, that home that they're living in. I think they're building a house, they're building a home, and maybe it's taking longer or something like that. But remember, they had to downsize. And to me, I'm always like, and they were only supposed to be there for like a couple of months, but now it's been like over a year or something like that. So to me, and I'm not knocking that. Trust me, I am not knocking that by any means. I think it's beautiful they're building a home. I think it's really smart that they downsize and they're doing what they need to do. But my thing is this. Your own daughter and her husband and their family are still in limbo, right? They're not in their new home yet. They're still in limbo. They're still in that sort of like home that is the holdover home. How dare you ask them for money when they're not even situated yet? How dare you? It's crazy to me. And it's so backwards where it's like, and like, I get it. Like there's a cultural thing, a societal thing where, yes, we take care of our parents 100%. If my parents needed anything, I would be there in a heartbeat. But there has to come a time where it's the parent who takes care of the child, and then you let the child become an adult, and then at the appropriate time the adult child then takes care of the parent. But that's not Miss Wanda. That's when like your parent is like, retired, and they need like, there's something going on medically, or they're in this like actual financial bind. Miss Wanda just wants a food truck. And it boggles my mind why she thinks Marceau is indebted to give it to her. That blows my mind. Your own daughter isn't 100% situated yet, because if she was, she'd be in the new house by now. And I'm not knocking that. I think it's beautiful they're buying a new house. I think it's smart for them to downsize to be in that middle way house until they move into the big one. I think it's smart. But they're not 100% situated. And again, that's saying you're putting your wants and your needs, because you think Marceau is your man, in front of the wants and the needs of your own child. Because even though Tisha is an adult, she's still Wanda's child. And it's so inverted and backwards. It's sick. It's absolutely sick. But that aside, and I know that's a big aside, I'm starting to like Tisha more. I think she is finding more of her voice. I know that there's stuff going on with her and Marceau and what she's pretending isn't happening and all of that stuff. But when it comes to the female friendships, I like Tisha. I actually think Tisha is a good friend. I think she's grown. Yes, I know the mom stuff. Yes, I know the Marceau stuff. But I think when it comes to female friendship, I think she's grown a lot. I think she's grown a lot, and I think she's coming more into her own. I love that her and Kimmy are getting on the same page. I love that her and Destiny are getting closer. Even Destiny and Tiffany are getting closer, right? So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Yeah. Destiny series said sickening. Yep. 100%. What is going on outside, you guys? Okay, Jessamy Siri 369 says, honestly, the negative direction this show has taken is sad. I know. I don't think I'll be watching it if it's a next season. Where's the positive light? I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. It's gotten, there's a darkness to it now. And that's why I wasn't doing reviews. There's a darkness to it. There's a darkness to it, and there's a darkness to it. Hey, Donna D. In a way, I believe Tisha should tell Wanda if she found out Marceau was cheating so that Wanda wouldn't be blindsided. Tisha and her mother are really close. This is the thing. It's not Wanda's decision whether or not Tisha tells her that Marceau was cheating. When two people become married, or you're just partners, this is your person, your loyalty in good and bad, cheating or not cheating, is to that person, not to your mother. That's a very unhealthy dynamic. Miss Wanda is not in a relationship with Marceau. And also, it was the fact that Miss Wanda said there's going to be a problem, or I'm going to be mad, or I'm going to be really pissed off. She said something like that. If you knew and you didn't tell me. That's what she said. Who do you think you are, Miss Wanda? And I say that respectfully because I'm not disrespecting anybody's mother. But who do you think you are? To have an attitude and to put your daughter down and to be very mean and aggressive because you think she has to tell you everything that goes on in her house. That is the sickening part. That is why the dynamic is so unhealthy. That is why Marceau does not respect Tisha or Miss Wanda. That's why he said, I don't belong to her. Because every time, and this is another problem, every time Tisha comes to her husband with something, she is unable to come to him directly. And what I mean by that is, she always says, well, my mom said, my mom saw, my mom did. And the moment she starts any conversation with my mom, my mommy, she loses all credibility as a wife. She loses all respect as a woman. That is why Marcel treats her like a child. Because when you come to your husband and you have an issue with him, and every time you have an issue with him, you always say, my mommy said, my mommy said, my mommy saw, my mommy saw. How do you expect him to treat you? If I'm going around talking to everybody, like, my mommy said, my mom saw this on social media, my mom, I sound like a child, therefore I will most likely be treated like one. And that is why it's so dysfunctional. And that is why it's so unhealthy. Because Tisha should come to her husband as a woman and as his wife and say, this is the issue I have. Let us talk about it. Not, Well, my mommy said, my mom saw this. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean by she never goes to him directly. She might be talking to him directly, but words have meaning and context has meaning. And if somebody is coming to me and they're saying, my mommy, my mommy, my mommy, I'm not taking this person seriously unless they're a child. But if you're an adult and you're coming to me and you want to talk to me about something because your mommy said, I'm confused. But yet you expect me to treat you like an adult and an equal. It's bizarre. Hey, just me. Destiny needs to be off the show and in some serious therapy. Yeah, yeah. There's something there, and it's like I like want to give her a hug. I want to give her a hug because it's like it never came to light the reason. At least I don't know. Maybe it's out there in some blog or something. Why her ex-husband filed for divorce right after she had the baby. Like what was going on there? And I don't think it was infidelity. Maybe infidelity was there, but I don't think the reason was infidelity. I don't think the reason was infidelity. I don't. I don't. Unless, and again, this is just riffing because I don't know. And this is alleged, hypothetical. I think there was some rumor that like he was unsure about the paternity of the child. That I could see being a big reason. And also, but it seems like he's still claiming the child because she talks about co-parenting. She talks about all that stuff. But then that's another question. And this I don't understand. This was also an issue that I had with remember Simon Guobadia and all those people back with that portion mess. Anyway, so with Destiny, is her ex-husband not paying child support? Or at least not paying enough? Because if she's still talking about co-parenting with him, then clearly he's still in the picture. Paternity question out there, but he's in the picture somehow, right? But she has to go on government assistance, and this was so dirty. Did you guys see the Carlos King after show with Melody and Monique? And Melody was like, "Oh, I don't know why Destiny is saying I'm a bad friend. I came over to her house and I saw like a I don't know, like a gas bill or a water bill. I don't even know what she said. Some type of bill on the front door, and I felt so bad. I ended up giving her like $5,000 or $6,000, something like that. Melody, right there shows you ain't a friend. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I don't even care that you are beefing with Destiny. I don't even care that you guys are no longer friends. And the truth be told, in my opinion, Melody is not friends with Destiny because she's bothered by the fact that Destiny is still friends with Martell. Point blank, period. She lied and said she wasn't bothered by it, but clearly she was. And I also think she's bothered by the fact that Destiny and Tisha became friends and Destiny was no longer windmilling for her. That is why I think they're not friends, in my opinion, because Melody got her feelings hurt. That's what I think. But to me, let me put it this way. If I was friends with someone, really good friends, and we had a falling out for whatever reason, she's still talking to my ex, I don't like it. She's befriended a girl I'm no longer friends with, I don't like it. I still would never, ever put that type of business out there. I don't care that Destiny told the world that she was on public assistance. That's Destiny's business to tell. I don't care if I don't mess with you. I don't care if I don't rock with you. I don't care if we ignore each other. I would never, ever be like, yeah, I went over her house and she had a bill taped up on the door, and so I gave her some money. See, I'm a friend. Mm-mm. It was sickening. It was sickening when she said that. And that's what I'm saying. I think that I think Destiny has been going through a lot. A lot. And a lot of times, and we talk about this when we talk about like mental health awareness and everything. A lot of times people can still be like, Destiny's a beautiful woman and she always comes late and she always comes correct. And that's why even when the scene with her and Maurice, he was so shocked when she said public assistance, because you never know what people are going through physically, whether it's they don't have the money and they're on public assistance. And you also never know what people are going through mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Just because somebody looks okay does not mean they're okay. Like, looks okay. Because Destiny looks gorgeous. She is bad. Bad. But you can tell she is going through something. But even Maurice didn't think of it. And when she said it on the show, I was shocked. I had no idea. I was like, what are you talking about? So you never know what people are going through. And for Melody to say that, it's like, I don't care if she talks to Martell. Her and Martell were friends first. I don't care if she's friends with Tisha. We're grown adults. You can be friends who you want to be with. I just wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't do that. I don't know. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Esme Cherie says, did you see the interview when Wanda said that Marceau is her and Tisha's husband? Oh, see? That's nasty. It's nasty. You don't even play like that. You don't even play like that. Hey, Donna D, if Destiny's husband filed for divorce so close after Law was born, that is traumatic. That is very traumatic. A, you're still postpartum. Your hormones are still all over the place. You're adjusting to being a mother. Like, that's a lot. That is very traumatic. And she's probably in shock for a lot of it. Okay. Hey, Donna B. Tisha and Marceau didn't seem to be stressed when Wanda asked for money. It appears to me they have it. Also, it's an investment for them. Hey, Linda. She goes, I think Tisha and Destiny are both not in an unhappy place, and I don't think it's healthy for them to attach themselves to one another at this time. They both have healing to do individually. I think, to be perfectly honest, I think every person on this show has a lot of healing to do individually when you really look at all of them. But I don't think there's anything wrong with seeking support while you heal. Because the idea that you have to heal on your own before you are in a place to have friendships or support is a trauma response, is an unhealthy response. That's a trauma response. The truth is, all human beings are on some spectrum of the healing process by the mere essence of being humans. We all go through big trauma and little trauma. We all have good days and bad days. We all are on certain places on the spectrum of the healing process. I love that Tisha and Destiny are there for each other, because what it shows you is that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be healed to have support and genuine friendship. So I love that they're together. And everybody on the show needs some healing. Kimmy with her projection, Melody with her ego, Destiny with whatever that trauma is going on with the child and the money and the divorce, Martell with all the cheating, Tiffany with Tiffany's a situation, right? They all are in some form, because all of us as human beings either are in need of healing, are in the process of healing, or are on a higher elevated of the healing process. But it's a lifestyle. It's not, oh, I'm healed, now I'm ready for everything. It's like, no, I'm healing. I'm on different levels of my healing process. Sometimes I get triggered and I go down a little bit, but I can take care of myself and get back up. So I love that they're friends, because I don't think that, I agree that they have individual healing that they need to do with the stuff that they need to work on, but that's very different from they need to go and heal by themselves before they're able to be in communion with somebody else. Jessamy says Destiny is no one friend. Miss T says, sorry, my Wi-Fi is active. Good to see you. Oh, it's okay, sweetheart. Hey, Miss T, Wanda was out of line and Tisha needs to stop using her mom as her mouthpiece. 100%. 100%. Hey, Miss T, Tisha loves watching Wanda talk crazy. She does, because this is the thing. I think Wanda talks crazy, but I also think 95% of what Miss Wanda says, Tisha cosigns. It's either something Tisha wants to get out there, but she doesn't want to say it herself. Hey, Young Rich, Stormy Queen, Heavenly, and Melody ate Letitia up on Carlo's show. No, it's so sad. Yay! Hey, Miss T. Yes, that's right. Miss T, community's about the Kiki. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, sweetheart. Yes. Miss T says Destiny and Tiffany are now friends or need to film. That is so true. Hey, Young Rich, Tiffany is a sweetheart this season. She is. She is. So you know what? With that, like I've actually turned a leaf when it comes to Tiffany. I've turned a leaf. I think that Tiffany was very much Melody's mouthpiece last season. I think that Tiffany is struggling for identity, like because she's talking about her journey to meet her birth parents and all of that. And I think that Tiffany might be struggling in her marriage as we're now seeing the true cracks, you know, with Big Lou, who is nothing but a big front. He's all mouth behind like when nobody's around, and then in everybody's faces, he's like this big old bear, like, oh, okay. But behind the scenes, he wants to be all big man, and Tiffany's like, calm down, it's me, relax. So, I don't know, but I agree. Younger says unpaid utility bill, yeah. Hey, Destiny Cherie, I disagree. The way Destiny talks negative about Mel's, gloves off. Ooh, gloves off. Hey, Young Rich, friends or friends with benefits? Ooh. See, I never got that from Destiny and Martell. I never got that. I never got that they were like secretly knocking the boots. Hey, Linda, I think Letitia and Destiny are both in a very unhappy place and they both need to heal. Oh, true friendship cannot form out of brokenness. You know, I don't agree with that. I think that, I don't ever like to call people broken. I think that people can be going through things, but I think people can feel broken, but I don't think people are ever actually broken. And true friendship, I actually think, is usually formed. I mean, genuine true friendship, when either you or the person or you and the person are actually going through some things, because that actually shows you the depth of your friendship. Because it's easy to form friendship bonds. It's easy to be friends when it's all sunshine and rainbows. Everything's happy, happy joy. Everything is good. 100%. No problem. No struggle, no nothing. But when you have someone show up for you, when you actually are going through something, when you actually need help, when you actually need support. I'm not talking about this paid utility bill Melody over here. I'm talking about emotional support, spiritual support, friendship. I think that's actually where true friendships are actually born, is when someone is there for you when you do. I don't think people are broken, but when you feel broken, when you feel in the need of healing, that's when friendship actually matters. And that is when someone is able to truly show up for you. That's why it's called fair weathered friends. When things are going great, of course you can build a friendship. Of course you're friends. But when you're actually down on your luck, when you are in a sunken place, when you don't feel good, when your things aren't going right, and your friend is still there for you, that's a true friendship. That's the test of any relationship, even romantic ones. The honeymoon period in a relationship is great, no problems. But when the honeymoon period wanes and you have to actually look at some stuff, that is the true testament of a relationship. So I love the fact that Tisha and Destiny are friends, because I think Tisha's going through some things. I think Destiny is going through some things. And I would rather them have each other than feel like they had no one. Hey, just me, Cherie. She shouldn't be discussing Mel with her enemies. Not the app. Just me, Cherie. No, Carlos asked her how much Destiny has been on a hate Mel smear campaign. Yeah, he did ask her how much, but only because she brought up that she paid. Bloop, bloop. Hey, Miss T, Destiny needs to just beef with someone. I think that her car conversation was staged. I'm telling you, all these conversations are staged. Like, all of them. Like, the work is showing. Hey, young rich, Destiny beefing with the utility. You guys, stop. Hey, Linda, Melody responded Destiny's calling her a mass manipulator and not a good friend. So at that point, is the friendship still a friendship? Hey, Deneen Hicks. Them brothers, I don't know who raised them, but they have been taught to be very manipulative people. Yup. It shows up especially in the on the outside looking in, but these women been in such denial. I agree. You know what? I agree so much with that. I said this before. It's pathological with the Scotts brothers. All of them. Mark, is that his name? There's one who's called Mark, who's like not on the show. There's Mark, Marcel, and Maurice. They're pathological. It's like they have an intrinsic inability to tell the truth. They talk in circles. They talk in riddles. They talk in half truths. They talk in semantics. It's bizarre, and it is extremely manipulative. And it's extremely weird to watch. And it's almost like this I would love to do a case study on it's bizarre. And it's really pathological. And all three of them do it. It's like they're living in this shared delusion, fantasy, that they are so smart and so slick that they can talk their way in and out of any situation. And the reason why that gets reinforced is because the people who they are married to, the people who they surround themselves with, enable that behavior. But as an audience watching, we see through the BS. At least I hope we do, or at least the majority of us do. But it's literally pathological. It's bizarre. Hey, Sip with D. She goes, hey, Candy, listening from work. Woohoo! Hey, Miss T, how much do you think Kimmy really knows? I think Kimmy knows a lot more than she's saying, which is why I think Kimmy is no fool. Let's put it this way. Kimmy is nobody's fool. I think that is why Kimmy strategically said to Mel, oh, I asked him directly and he said no directly, which wasn't true. I think that's why she allowed his non-answer to be an answer. And I think that's why she's projecting all the fault to Martell, because it's easier to pile on to Martell than it is to have people look at Maurice. It's a great way to deflect. I think Kimmy knows a lot more than she's saying. I think Kimmy is also a woman who made up her mind, where I think that she made up her mind that Maurice is the one I want. We're married, and I'm not going to let anything affect that. So I think she's already made up her mind that if anything did happen, she's already resolved to stay. And so since she's already resolved to stay, she's now doing anything in her power to mollify it and deflect from her relationship with Maurice. That's even why the episode with her son Jalen was so cringy, when he was like, are y'all good? Like, he was even like, are you guys okay? and the deflection, the delusion, the fantasy, the pretending that Kimmy and Maurice were doing. Oh yeah, we're fine. Oh, everything is good. Oh, the post was so weird and bizarre and cringy and weird. And it's funny because Kimmy holds everybody else to such this moral standard, but she doesn't with Maurice, because she's always just like, I know who he is. I know he's a Scott brother, and this is just how it is. That's why she waited, what, 7 years to get married, and then she waited like 3 or 4 years for a honeymoon. Where did they do that at? And then she was so giddy like a little kid when she finally got her honeymoon. And I get it. I would be excited too for the honeymoon. But I think it's indicative of their dynamic. I think Kimmy very much has resolved, this is my person. I know who he is, and I'm going to ride this. Even if it means sacrificing, even if it means deflecting, even if it means pretending. That's what I think. Hey, Miss T, Mel seems to use her friend every season. Every season. First season was Tisha, then it was Destiny, then Tiffany, now it's Stormy. Like, it's a lot. Hey, Linda. Melody was responding to Destiny, going on many interviews, calling her a master manipulator and not a good friend. So at that point, is it really a friendship? That is true. That is true. I don't think they're friends anymore. I think it's fair to say that they are no longer friends. Hey, Miss T, Tiffany is trying this season. She is. She is. I've turned a leaf on Tiffany. I really, really have. I've turned a leaf on her. Hey, Donna D, Tiffany will have to get back to starting some mess if she wants to stay on the show, though. I agree. Miss T, Stormy is last season's Tiffany. Can we talk about Stormy? I don't understand Stormy. I don't get it. Like, she came in so hard, basically as like Melody's mouthpiece and watchdog, like beefing with everybody unless they're on Team Mel. Like, I don't get it. Like, Stormy, calm down. Like, you can be on the show. Like, I don't know what Stormy is. You know why I don't get Stormy is I don't actually know what Stormy is like. If that makes sense. I just see her as someone who stands there while Melody feeds her lines, and then she repeats the lines back, and then she goes and windmills for Melody when Melody doesn't want to get her hands dirty. But other than that, I don't really know what Stormy is like. I know she got really like all in whatever, but like, what is Stormy's personality other than beefing up for Melody and just being in scenes where it's so clear that her and Melody already had a script? Other than that, I don't really know Stormy. Hey, English, Martell is quite tolerable this season, I must say. I agree. And this is the thing. I like Martell, not in the sense of like, I'm team Martell or anything like that. No. But there comes a point in time where, and I said this earlier in the video, but I'll say it again. There comes a point in time where people need to, and by people, I mean like the people on the show who keep trying to villainize him, is get off the high horse and stop being so self-righteous, because he without sin throw the first stone. We get it. Martell was cheating on Melody. We get it. Martell was wilding out on Instagram. We get it. Martell had a baby on the side. We get it. But no one is perfect. They got divorced. There comes a time where everybody has to move on from it. And I honestly don't think Martell has done anything bad this season, other than have a really cheesy photo up in that bathtub. I felt really bad for him with the children's book signing. I thought that was really low down and dirty on Mel. I think she definitely knew when the book signing was. But she was being spiteful. That's just how I think it was. So, yeah, I mean, we've all done some type of dirt. We're all human beings. So I think we kind of have to give Martell a little bit of grace. Like, there comes a point where Enough is enough. We have to forgive and move on. Hey Donnie, oops, I meant didn't Destiny's dad and Martell's mom used to date or something? Ooh, really? They did? Maybe they brother and sister. No, I'm kidding. YMCM, why invite Wanda and not Martell? Martell did not make Maurice do anything. Exactly. You're gonna have to watch the replay because I talked about this for like 30 minutes. I was just going in. Exactly. Oh wait, I think I missed one. Hey YMCM, Kimmy just made an enemy Martell. Now he will not care what Maurice do. Martell did not care about Kimmy and Maurice. You know how petty Martell can be when he is crossed. Yeah, I agree. I think it was very petty and very much projection what Kimmy was doing. And I think it was a lot of deflection. Like, let's not look at Maurice. Let's not look at our marriage. Let's just point the finger at Martell because he's always the bad guy. It's like it's low-hanging fruit. It's low-hanging fruit. Hey, Jessamy Cherie 369. How has Mel used anyone on this show? Easily. Melody, we also remember Melody is also a producer on the show. So she wants to control storylines. She wants to produce. And the problem with that is that it's unclear if she's being a producer or she's being a castmate, because every conversation she has, you can tell it's been scripted out. The work is showing. It's very fake. For example, with the pajama party, when she's talking to Kiki. Oh, Kiki, so is it true, is it not true that Tisha knew some stuff about Marcel before I said anything? Oh, so she already knew, right? And then Kiki was like, you're right. And then she went and said all this stuff. It was so staged. It was so clearly staged. Melody basically was feeding Kiki a line, and then Kiki took the hook and let it reel. So now everybody's being like, Kiki said. But if you watch the footage, Melody brought it up. And you could tell that Melody and Kiki behind the scenes had already had the conversation about it. That's how Melody uses people. She feeds them storylines. She feeds them bits and pieces. She used Tiffany last season as her mouthpiece. There's no way Melody did not tell Tiffany all the stuff about what happened with Monster, about Destiny's ex-husband allegedly cheating. She brought that up. And you know how we know this, go back and watch the footage. Melody is again feeding Tiffany lines. Oh, didn't you say you knew her before? How did you know her? Oh, and what did you mean by that? Oh, okay, Every time Melody is in a scene, she is feeding people basically like the starter line, and then they say something either to expose a castmate, because Melody's basically whole thing was, I'm not the only one. Okay, you want to say I was being cheated on, I was in a bad marriage. Well, all of y'all got some dirt, all of y'all got something going on. So I think she wanted to systematically expose everybody's stuff. She was like, Tisha, she was like, oh, well, Tisha, well, your husband's cheating on you. Oh, Destiny, well, Tiffany, how did you say you met her ex-husband? And then all of a sudden, Tiffany's like, oh, well, I thought it was you at this event, but I guess it wasn't. Like, that was so staged. So staged. And now Stormy coming in and having beef with everybody over her. The way Melody uses people is that she uses them to be her mouthpiece and say things to people that she doesn't want, so she can say, I never said it. I didn't start anything. It wasn't me. That's how she uses people, as a mouthpiece and as a tool to get other people's dirt exposed. Oh, Tiffany said that. I didn't say that. Stormy said that. That wasn't me. No, what are you talking about? That's how she uses people. Hey, in black always. Hey, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? What is up? Hey, Donna D. She goes, evidently Martell hasn't told Kimmy anything anyway. He can't and not tell her anything any more than he already has not told her about Maurice's indiscretions. Hey, M Love Black Always. I don't know why your videos aren't coming up on my subscription list. Oh, I don't know. I don't know either. Hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell. Maybe unhit it and then hit it again, guys. And then subscribe. Hey, YMCM, why do not Kimmy like Mel? I think she wanted Mel to see all the other girls getting along. Kimmy basically ignored Mel too. This is the thing. I think all of the girls are kind of over Mel's shenanigans. I think Kimmy sees Melody for who she is, but Kimmy's also very level-headed and strategic. So I think when it comes to Kimmy, she's like, I don't have a personal beef with you, but I see how you're moving. And I think all of the women, except for Stormy at this point, kind of have an issue with Melody. I mean, Tiffany, I think, is like neutral because she wants to keep her spot on the show. But Jess Me says, sounds like Kimmy is settling. Yeah, I think she settled a long time ago. I think she knew what she was doing. Yep. Hey, and Black Loves Always. Kimmy is so book street smart, but when it comes to Maurice, she's a bird. Oh, damn. Not a bird. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I honestly think she was just like, you know what? He's my choice, and I'm just going to ride this. And I'm just going to deal with whatever comes. Yeah. Jess Mayshrew says, I love Stormy. M Love Black always says, Stormy needs to be very careful because I heard she's very successful and she will take a hit on the show. Listen. I don't know. When you have stuff to lose, Young Rich says, I like Stormy, LOL. This is the thing. I don't dislike Stormy. I just want to see more of her individual. Like her individual personality. Like I want to see Stormy hang out with the girls without Melody's influence, if that makes sense. Like I want to get to know Stormy more, but Stormy can't have a conversation without being Mel's mouthpiece. And I would love to see what Stormy's personality really is. Because I'm sure she's a lovely, fantastic person, but I don't know her out of being Melody's shadow. Hey, and Love Black Always. Martell needs to be a better friend. I couldn't be his friend in real life. This is the thing. I think all of them dip it and do it, run around town. Because you know what Marceau said? He was like, you'll never, he's like, you don't have a receipt. And he's like, and you'll never get one. He's never come out and actually said, denied it. What he does is he says, I can't believe you're asking me this. Why are you asking me this? I can't believe you're asking me this. Is there a receipt? Shady boots. Hey, YMCM. Kimmy has not been in the same, Kimmy has not been the same since that pic was posted. Kimmy has been shook. She has been shook. Exactly. She is clearly broken and Maurice is rubbing it in. I don't think, okay, this is the thing. I don't think so much that Maurice is rubbing it in. I think, you know what it is? Again, the Scotts brothers, I think that it's literally what he said, which was so disgusting. He was like, I don't care, but I guess I'll care if you care. I care that you care, but I don't care. Which is so dismissive and so disrespectful. And Kimmy has been shook ever since that picture came out because it was a chink in the armor. They were no longer this sort of like untouchable couple. Even though there had been like the rumors about like, oh, she was a side chick, blah, blah, blah. You know, him and his wife were separated. She was dating other people. She was married now with somebody else. Like, But this is a chink in the armor. It opens the door, right? And Kimmy hasn't been the same. She's been very shook. Hey, YMCM. Kimmy said she was dating a slew of women before her. She also said he stopped with her. Now she may have to take that back. Yup, maybe he never really stopped with her. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's a chink in that, like, story. It's a chink in the armor, right? Mm. Hey, Jess Mystery. I disagree with her using anyone they chose to be on the show. Well, this is the thing. There's a difference between choosing to be on the show and the way in which you show up on the show. You could be on the show without being used by Melody, or you could be on the show and be used by Melody. At the end of the day, it's their choice. But I, in my opinion, I do think she uses people. Hey, just me, Cherie. So now asking questions is using people. Asking questions is not using people. Having predetermined questions and predetermined answers that either A, bring out skeletons of people that you're no longer rocking with, or because you want to bring people down a peg or two, or B, throwing shots at your op or your enemy or whatever, is using people. She can ask questions all day long, but when it is so painfully obvious that they have already had a conversation, that this is already pre-scripted. I know reality isn't reality. I know it's literally called scripted reality. I know that there are scenes that they're shooting. I know that reality isn't actually reality. However, make it like the work is showing. The work is showing. It is so obvious that they're having pre-conversations, and she's sitting there asking questions in a way where she already knows the answer. That is what I mean by using people. Using people because instead of Melody be at the pajama party being like, well, Tisha already knew about Marceau alleged cheating. There was already problems, blah, 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 blah. So instead of Melody being the one who's actually saying it, she invites Tisha's cousin. So then she can use Tisha's cousins to say all the stuff that she wants to get out there, but then she can keep her hands clean. Because in the episode, Melody is the one who asked Kiki the questions, and the questions are so staged and they are so obvious. She was like, oh, so she already knew about that, right? Oh, so even before this happened, she already had questions, right? And the Kiki was like, yep, you're right. And then she went on this whole thing about it. That's what I mean by using people. If it was an actual organic conversation where you're just asking questions, you're talking, and it just flowed, and what came out, that's one thing. But when it is so clearly premeditated, that is what I mean by using people. Those are two different things. Hey, Dustin Butler, he says hi. Hello. Hey, YMCM, Kimmy has to be mad at someone. She's hurting. I know. But Martell is the wrong man. Yep, Maurice is the one Kimmy should be mad at. Exactly. Kimmy is also thinking about her image to her son. Exactly. 100%. 100%. It's exactly what I said. Yep. Hey, Miss T, these Scott brothers are something else. I can't with their gaslighting. The gaslighting is so real. It is so real, and it's bizarre. Hey, M Love Black always agreed. I don't know who Stormy is. I want to see her running her businesses. Me too. That's the thing. Like, I want to see Stormy like with her baby. Isn't she like a new mom? And I want to see her running the businesses. You know, being that boss babe who she's wealthy. You know, she made that money. She has stuff to. You know what I mean? I would love to see that Stormy, and I would love to see Stormy interact with the women as Stormy. You know what I mean? Not as Melody's side chick. I want to see Stormy as Stormy because I bet you she's really interesting. I bet you she seems like she'd be like really funny. You know what I mean? Like she'd be really like funny, slick. But I haven't, at least to me, I haven't really had the opportunity to see who Stormy is in her own energy, in her own space, her doing her own thing. I only know Stormy in context of Melody. Hey, Miss T, Maurice is now trying with finally honeymoon and B-Day trip. I know. The timing of it all. Hey, YMCM, I think Tisha likes it when Wanda picks at Marceau. She cannot herself. Yup. She thinks her mom's really getting to Marceau. No, he don't care really. Exactly. I think that their dynamic is so sick. It's so unhealthy and just bizarre and sick. But I think that Tisha and Miss Wanda are so enmeshed. Miss Wanda thinks that Marcel is really her husband. And Tisha really thinks that she has no authority unless she does it through her mother. And Marceau doesn't respect either of them and thinks it all is all a joke. And he will always do what he wants when he wants to with whoever he wants to. That's kind of how I see it. I don't think he gives two hoots what Miss Wanda says. I don't think he really cares what Tisha says. I think he's just going to do whatever he wants to do. Hey, Young Rich, I'm just glad they're not using Poor Little Monster. I know, as a storyline this season, it was so cringe, them practically putting him on blast for a storyline every season. I agree. I agree. I agree 100%. Like, keep the baby's name out your mouth. Keep the children's name out of your mouth. Hey, in Black, always, me too. The kids should be off limits. 1,000%. Hey, Miss T, is asking questions with information that you wouldn't know without being fed is annoying. Is asking questions with information that you wouldn't know without being fed is annoying. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hey, Miss T, I hate that they keep referred to saying their reunion. I know. I talked about this on another thing when I used to review more, but I'm telling you, this show got too dark for me. And I hope it doesn't get darker, because the reason why I think the show has gone in the wrong direction, one, it's getting too dark. The women almost fighting at Galentine was hard to watch. Destiny's trauma is hard to watch. And it looks like it might come to blows in one of them. There's like this preview where it's like Marceau is like being like interrogated by like Tisha's family at this thing. It's gone a little dark. And I also think the show kind of fell off for me with the social media stuff. When they had the social media special episode, when they kept referring to Instagram posts, bloggers, and they kept saying their reunion. That is what I mean by it no longer feels like a reality show. Do you know what I mean? Like the first couple of seasons, I know reality shows aren't reality, but at least you want to be immersed in the idea that it is, in the fantasy that it is, right? But when you are having people talking about the reunion, that to me took me out of the reality of it. You're on the show and you're talking about the reunion, and then every single conversation, basically up until the last episode, even then, was only to address rumors in the blogs. Each conversation, well, on the blog it said this, on Instagram it said that, and it was just like, where is their actual lives anymore? I don't know on any other reality show where they talk about saying they're at the reunion. Like in the Real Housewives, they'll be like, well, the last time I saw you, this is what you said. And they may take tidbits of what was said at the reunion, but they would never be like, at the reunion with Andy Cohen, this is what was said. Like, no, I've never heard that before. And I didn't watch the social media episode, so maybe I'm wrong on this, but I didn't want to watch it for a reason. It just didn't seem right with me. I don't know the exact format, but if the cast was on was on the social media one, that's bizarre to me. But I think it's really weird that they keep referring to the blogs and all of this stuff. There's a way to finesse it where you can talk about cheating allegations. You can talk about, alleged babies on the side. You can talk about things, but you do it in a way that you finesse it as if it is natural within your day-to-day life. But them talking about the reunion and talking about blogs every single conversation is not natural to life. You know what I mean? It takes you out of the reality. And I think that's another weird thing about it. Jess True says the acting is bad. That's what I'm saying. It's so clear that they are having these conversations and these scripting and all of this stuff before they go into the scene. And then they just go and talk about all of it, like the whole post and the whole thing. Like you can see the work now. You see the work showing. And it's kind of lost its innocence almost. Like the first couple of seasons were so good, and it's kind of lost that innocence to it. Now it's just defense mode. They're just defending and defending and defending and defending and defending and defending and defending, where it's kind of lost the reality, kind of lost like what's actually going on in their lives, if that makes sense. Hey, Miss T was proud of Jalen for standing up for his mom. Me too. He was like, "You're not doing that in my house." I was like, "You damn right, you're not." Yes, Jalen. Hey, YMC. And Wanda will go on a Tisha if she found out Tisha knew. Yup. That's exactly what she said. And Tisha has left Wanda in her relationship too much. Not Wanda thinks she is running their marriage, and she is. Exactly. Wanda thinks Marcel is her man, and she thinks that Tisha is their kid, basically, or their side chick. Hey, Eva Rashid. It's possible to ask disrespectful and shady questions, like asking someone, "Where your daddy at?" when you know he's a deadbeat. It's mean-spirited with evil goals. Exactly. Exactly. Yup. I agree. Hey, Miss T, besides the cheating, what's the storylines this season? That's what I'm saying. Exactly. It's like, what is their lives now other than responding to bloggers? Other than responding to bloggers, what is the story? What's the story? Miss T, does Tisha really think she has the power in her marriage? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, YMCM, Tisha told Marcel they were financing her mom's truck. I was saying this earlier, and I was saying this earlier in the episode where I was just like, Miss Wanda really think that's her man. She's like, "I want a truck. You need to give me the money for it." Oh, who were you with on this trip? Who were you with? Blah, blah, blah. Are you sleeping with somebody else? Like, Miss Wanda, Marcel is not your man. And even though he is your son-in-law, there are boundaries. There are boundaries. Tisha and Marcel should be as one because they are the two who are married. And what they choose to share with you is their choice. Tisha doesn't have to tell you anything about her relationship. But yet you said it was going to be a problem if she knew something about Marcel that she didn't tell you. I wish a person would. I wish anybody would tell me they had a problem with me because I didn't tell them something about my husband. You've lost it. You've lost the plot. You know what? This makes me so grateful for my mother. Mother's Day is coming up. I'm going to get her some extra stuff because when you see how some people, and I'm not going to be disrespectful to Miss Wanda because she is a mom, she is an elder. But when you see how some mothers are, it really puts into perspective how blessed you are. I couldn't imagine my mother ever saying to me, "There's going to be a problem if you didn't tell me about what your husband did." Could you imagine your mother saying that to you? My mom's getting a fat Mother's Day gift. A fat Mother's Day gift. Hey, Young Rich, I kind of like the social media adding in because it's a part of the reality. But I wish they kind of did it in a more organic way. Because it's kind of taken away from it for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, kind of taken away from it. Like, you know what it is? I like that they're addressing what's on social media because they have to, because it's on social media. We all see it. And if I'm watching a show and they're not addressing what's happening on social media, then I'm like, there's a disconnect, right? Wait a minute. You mean this is a reality show, but you're not talking about this stuff? But I think there's a way to do it where you address what's being talked about on social media, but you don't actually, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't attribute it to social media. The same thing we did with the reunion, right? You can talk about what happened at the reunion. Well, the last time I saw you, or a couple of months ago, or remember when you said, and you talk about what was talked about the reunion, but you don't actually say, at the reunion, this is what happened. Do you see what I'm saying? So they can, in all reality shows, do this. You can talk about what's happening in the blogs, but you don't have to attribute it to the blogs every time you talk about it. There's a way to finesse it that brings the reality back to reality TV. Hey, Young Rich, well, they are in the blogs on their day-to-day life. If you think about that, they're always online. Just me serious. It's bringing the blogs makes it seem inauthentic. Exactly. It takes me out of the story. It takes me out of being really present in their lives. 100%. 100%. YMCA, the show got dark in season 1 and darker every season since and never had a bright light. It's gotten dark. Hey, yeah, Rich, Monique trying too hard for a storyline. You mean Monique on Love and Marriage Huntsville, DC? I should do a recap on that. I should review that show because I've got some thoughts on that show. I was just taking a break from the reality recaps because everything was getting so dark and just so heated. And I've been focusing on the self-care and the self-love and all that stuff. But maybe I will because I got some thoughts on Miss Monique. I got some thoughts on her. She's very, and don't get me wrong, I like her. I really, really like her, but she's very prickly. If you understand what I'm saying, she's a very prickly person. And to be honest, I'm Team Chris. I'm Team Chris. I think I'm Team Chris. Hey, Young Rich at Miss T, no comment. Hey, YMMC, I can never respect anyone controlled by their mother. I would not even want to be with that person. Yeah. Oh, Mother's Day just passed. You know, Mother's Day just passed. Well, you know what? I gotta get my mom another gift. I gotta get her another gift. My mind, you guys. That's so funny. Thank you, Misty. You can't pick your parents. I know. Yeah, which Mother's Day was weeks ago. My mind, you guys, my mind. You know what it is? It's my mother's birthday is coming up. That's what it is. My mother's birthday is coming up. I was complaining too, but thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know. Yes. Let's see. Y'all are funny. Miss T, I don't believe anyone takes Martell Construction Works plan seriously. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The fact that he won't get his own builder's license, you can't take it seriously. You can't. It's like a teenager being like, I want to drive, but I don't want to get my driver's license. Then you don't really want to drive, do you? Because if you actually wanted to drive, you'd go get your license. So Martell needs to stop playing around. I really think Martell wants to be... I think Martell wants to be a creative. I think he wants to do the writing. I think he wants to, like the books he did with his child. I think he wants to do like the workout body stuff, the photo shoots. Like I think he wants to be more of a creative, but he's sort of stuck in this idea of what it means to be a masculine man. So I think he's stuck in this idea of, because even if you think about it with the dynamic with him and Melody, he was more of the face because he was the guy and everybody thought, oh, it's Martell's business and Melody's the wife who's like doing it with him. But then when that whole facade came down, it turned out Melody was actually the one in her masculine energy. And by masculine and feminine, I don't mean guy or girl. I just mean the essence of the energy. She was actually in the masculine energy because she was the one at the license. She was the one who was actually doing the business. She was the one really calling the shots. And that facade came out and everyone's like, wait a minute, you don't even have your license. I actually think that Martell probably wants to be more in that creative space. That's why he loves doing the photo shoots. He loves doing he did a cooking book too, right? Yeah, he did a cooking book. I think he wants to be more in the creative space. But I think he's holding on to this front of businessman, and the creative stuff is business. Writing books and doing all of that. That's all a huge business. But what I mean by businessman is like that like masculine, right? I'm the businessman and I do construction, I built houses and I do da da da. Because I think he's stuck in this idea of what it means to be a masculine man, and he's stuck in that ego space. Because if it wasn't that, then I think he would have gotten his license and really committed. But there's something holding him back. I think he would prefer to be in the creative space, but he is unable to adjust what he believes to be a masculine man. You can very much be that masculine boss man in the creative space. There are people who do cooking books who are multimillionaires and writing books and all of that stuff. But I think he's too afraid to fully step into just being a creative entrepreneur because he's so stuck into what it means to be that masculine entrepreneur, if that makes sense. Hey YMCM, Destiny gave the impression he wanted total control over her and did not like her independent mindset. I can see that. You mean her ex-husband? Who knows, man? Miss T, random people at cast parties is also annoying. You mean the extras? The extras who came for for craft services? I love it. Hey YMCM, Destiny said no child support. He agreed to pay the house note for a year. No child support to her. What happened? What happened? And why would she agree to that? Why would she? What happened? And why would she agree to that? Who would agree to pay the house note for a year but no child support? What happened? I want to know what happened. I really want to know. Something happened. I'm not saying that it's Destiny's fault. Because I don't like to blame people I don't like to blame people in general. Or did he turn out to be like cuckoo psycho? Like I'm literally shook with this Destiny situation. I am shook because nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. Like they were this happy couple. She was going to keep her last name because of what happened within her family. They get married, they have a baby, and then months later of her giving birth, they get divorced. It's so acrimonious that she is so now financially distraught that she's on public assistance. He's refusing to pay child support. He's allegedly paying the house note only for 1 year. What happened? I want to know what happened. I need answers. See, that is what I want to know. That is the story I want to see. Melody better watch out because Destiny might get her own show if she start really exposing what's going on in her life. That is what I actually want answers to. To be honest, I don't really care about Maurice cheating, allegedly. Kimmy's already cool with it, apparently. I don't really care about Martell cheating. He has a whole baby and a whole social media shrine to old girl. Who cares? I don't really care about Marcel and Tisha. Nothing new there. Stormy, I mean, sure, she's cool. Tiffany, I like Tiffany this season, but kind of boring. I really want to know what happened in Destiny's marriage. That's what I really want to know because she went from owning her hair business like Madani or whatever. She was doing the events. She was doing women empowering women. She was doing the sponsorship. She was on top of she had it all together. I want to know, just as a cautionary tale for myself or anybody else out there, what really happened? That's the storyline I want cracked. Not to the detriment of anybody. Not if she's emotionally not able to handle it, because it does seem like there is a big something going on with her. So I don't want to see it if it's a detriment to somebody's mental health or emotional state of being. I don't want to. I don't want to do it in a negative, dark way. But I'm really curious as to what happened there. Right? Is anybody else? Hey, Miss T, the gaslighting on Love and Marriage DC is even more crazy. You know what? I'm gonna have to review it. I'm gonna have to review it, and I'm telling you, I'm Team Chris. Might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm Team Chris. And when I do the review, I'll tell you why. Hey, YMCM, that was so cold to put the bill notice out. Cruel and selfish, very mean spirit. It was. It was. Hey, Donna D. Martell acts like he's afraid to fail that test again. Yeah, I agree. I think he is really scared to fail it again. He is. Hey, Young Rich wants to be Beyonce without Beyonce work ethic. Oh, damn. I can't, Young. I can't, Young. I can't. You send me. Hey, YMCM, I think Destiny has a lot of financial issues over her head that is worrying her. Yes. Yes. Hey, Donna D, I think Martell wants to be a nasty dancer. Right? Totally. Like, I think Martell wants to be like Magic Martell, right? Like, he could just get out there and like do his thing. I agree. Totally. Hey, Young Rich, he's getting comfortable out of his shell when he's with Carlos King. I see you, Young Rich. We see each other. I see you, Young Rich. I see you. Hey, Donna D. She goes, at YMCM, I agree about the financial stress on Destiny Bears. Yes, when she was married, they both had income coming in. Now it's just her. The P word hurt her tremendously. I agree. You can feel the fear. And she's also she's a mom. And to have that stress and trauma right after giving birth, like, I've never given birth, I don't have kids, but I can empathize with any woman who has just given birth and your husband files for divorce. Sick. Hey, Dondi, I guess Destiny just wanted to get out to take so little. Oof. Hey, Miss T, Destiny is sitting on the best storyline ever. Spill your tea, girl. Listen, I would be right there with popcorn, some black champagne. I want to taste it, the chocolate, whatever it's called. I mean, I want to know what happened there. To me, that is the golden storyline of the show at this point. The golden storyline. The only rumor I heard, and again, alleged, rumor, was that there was a question around Law's paternity. And that's where everything went. But I'm just trying to think, if that was it, then why is she saying she's still co-parenting? Is he gonna raise a child who isn't his biologically when he already divorced the mother? Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like if they were to stay together, I understand that. So I don't know if I believe that rumor or not. I don't know if I believe that rumor. Didn't Destiny say she's on government assistance? She said she was. Yeah, she said she was. And that's what I was saying before. PP loans or something. Yep. And that's what I was saying before. You never know what someone is going through. Do you know what I mean? You never know what someone is going through just by looking at them. You could look at someone and have no idea what is happening in their life. So we got to be kind to people. Hey, Just Me Cherie, where's the transparency with Destiny? Yeah. But I think the difference with that is that the reason why it was such an issue with Tiffany and transparency was because Tiffany made it an issue. She came to the show exposing people and then being like, I'm just transparent, Tiffany. I want to be transparent. but she wasn't being transparent with herself. Where Destiny isn't saying what happened in her marriage, but Destiny isn't going out of her way to spill other people's tea. I think that's the difference. Yes, we want to know what happened with Destiny, but Destiny wasn't acting like a Tiffany. Tiffany came to the show and basically was just like, "Oh, Kimmy, your stepson Maurice was, doing vaping and all this stuff and blah blah blah. Didn't he get in trouble? Oh, Destiny, I know I met your husband and it was actually him and the side chick who I thought it was you. Blah 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 blah." Like, and but we're transparent, but then they're not actually telling anything about their life or their past or their marriage, but they wanted to come and expose everybody else. I think that was the issue with Tiffany and her transparency. Not so much that she wanted transparency, but that she wasn't being transparent. Where I don't think Destiny has had her beef and her issues with people, but Destiny hasn't gone out her way to spill people's tea like that. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the difference when it comes to that. Hey, YMCM, LeBeric seemed like the type to talk down to you and try to force you to bow down to him, be submissive. Miss T, is Martell a friend on his own show? Martell is a friend on his own show. Martell is 100% a friend of this season. He is a co-star. He's a friend of. He's a featured extra. Hey, YMCM. I think Destiny and Tisha need each other now more than ever. They can support each other through their issues. They can uplift each other. Exactly. I'm happy that they have each other. I really, really do. Miss T, do these ladies really care about Tiffany finding her father? Do we care? That's a hard no. Hey, Miss T, Carla knows how to pick a cast of characters. So true. Hey, YMCM, Mel thinks money is showing friendship. No, emotional support is being a friend. When you are low, they bring you up and vice versa. Exactly. And I think Melody is the type of chick, because this is what she's shown herself to be. I'm going to do something for you that I can then have leverage. Because it's like I said before, I could be friends with someone and we have a falling out, we're no longer cool. You throw some jabs, I throw some jabs, we're not cool. There are certain things that there has to be a bottom to the petty. I don't care how bad a falling out we have. I'm not going to get up there on TV and talk about I came over, there was a unpaid utility bill and I gave you $5,000 or $6,000 and then laugh and kiki about it and be like, see, I'm a friend. You said I wasn't a friend. That is doing something for someone in order to have leverage. So on Mad Day, you would have something to throw in their face. I don't care if Destiny called you a master manipulator. Everybody calls you that, Melody, because you are. I don't care that she called you a bad friend, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. There are just certain things you don't do. Like you don't go after parents, you don't go after children, and there's just certain things. I don't care how much you're beefing and blah, blah, blah. There's just certain things that you just don't go after. It just doesn't sit well with me. There's just certain things. You just don't do that. I don't care if we don't rock together anymore. Hey, Wanda and Exodus. Destiny has done several interviews and explained what happened in the marriage. Ladies First panel and DJ Richie Sky. What did she say? Hey, YMCM, Carla knows how to bring out your best and your worst to post a clear view of each one of them. Mm-hmm. Hey, Miss T, it's interesting that Carlos isn't pressing Destiny to share more. It must be serious. I know. Hey, Miss T, wonder if Tiffany is worried about Big Lou taking trips with these guys. No, Tiffany does not care. Tiffany was not shook. Tiffany gave 0 Fs. Tiffany was actually like, we were supposed to go out on a trip together, but I'm actually taking my friend instead. See ya. That's how much Tiffany gave 0 Fs. Hey, Miss T, Destiny definitely has some misplaced anger because she could go from 0 to 100 real quick. I agree. I definitely think she's going through something, and that stuff. But I will say this, and I'm not a Mel basher, but I did think it was also dirty for Mel to continuously call Tiffany aggressive. Because we all know that is a trigger word, that is a buzzword, particularly with Black women. And for her to be like, you're aggressive, it's like, Melody, you're passive aggressive. You're nice, nasty. You're manipulative. I don't know what to, I would prefer someone to tell me to my face, clearly and directly, what's up, than to be passive aggressive and nice, nasty and plant seeds and bait people to say stuff. Just saying. Hey, Jessamy. Destiny has done several interviews and has told different details on the same story. In other words, she has been telling lies. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, I don't think Destiny has actually told what happened. I think she's probably told facade stuff just to kind of like, oh, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think Destiny's really told what happened, or else we would know. Hey, Callie T, Tiffany, Kimmy, and Tisha need to be concerned about hoeing and Huntsville homies taking their community on the road to Atlanta instead of anything else. Not on the road to Atlanta. Not on the road to Atlanta. Hey, Miss T, Mel's producer's hat isn't invisible anymore. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. The work is showing. And literally, she will ask a question that literally tees up the answer. And it's so clear that they've already had the conversation of what they were going to discuss. The episode with her daughter, that was clearly scripted. Oh, you want to be like Serena Williams? Oh, you have to make sure you're a woman who can, be on your own and provide for her own stuff. And it was cringy because the context in which she was saying it was basically like, well, I can't rely on your daddy. Your daddy ain't do nothing. Your daddy's a deadbeat. So you better make sure that when you grow up, you don't get a man like your daddy. That was the essence of really what she was saying. And it was so cringy, and I felt so bad for her daughter. And it was so scripted. You really just sitting around talking to your daughter about Serena Williams? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Destiny is aggressive. Hey, Donna D, I bet Destiny will tell Tisha about Marcel's cheating ways. Martell will tell her, and she will tell Tisha. Someone may have already said that in the chat. People keep taking me away from the chat. Aw. Thank you for joining us, though. Hey, Destiny Cherie, who gets mad at someone trying to get both sides of a situation or beef? Yeah. Hey, Miss T, it's sad that Mel wouldn't let the children attend the book signing. Oh, literally broke my heart. It was super sad, and it was dead wrong. Hey, Wanda, next to this, Liberic sent Destiny and Carlos court papers to not mention him on the show, and she still has pending court case, and she can't tell it all. I can't wait to find out what happens. I cannot wait to find out what happened. What is going on in court? Like, what's happening in the court, right? I need to know. Hey, Kelly T, Mel's interaction with cast members is so contrived. It's contrived and it's forced. It's all the above. Hey, YMCM, yes, Martell has had a better season. No Melody to argue with. I'm starting to like him. I agree. I actually think Martell has become very, very likable. Very, very likable. And I get it. He was a cheater. I get it. He had a baby on the side. I get it. But at the same time, we're all human beings. We've all made mistakes. None of us are perfect. And there comes a time where we have to forgive and heal and move on. I like Martell. He's not the first man to cheat, and he's not the last man to cheat. Hey, Miss T, I wouldn't be surprised if Mel is the reason we don't see as much of Martell. Bloop. Wouldn't be surprised about that either. All right, you guys. I gotta go get ready. I'm going to a screening of Top Gun tonight. Hey, Donna D, Martell should have had the book signing on his time. Melody can't keep changing her schedule because of cheating, selfish, self-centered man. See, this is where there needs to be... Melody talks a lot about her healing and her glow up and all of that. I'm sorry, I personally don't see it. I don't see it. This is the thing. This is what I mean by there needs to come a time where we just kind of heal and we mature. We put our children first, and it comes more about what is the best thing for my children, rather how can I get revenge and a dig on a man who cheated on me. Because when it comes to the children's book signing, Melody was 100% dead wrong. His book signing was not his event, meaning Martell did not decide the date of the event. He was a part of an event. So whoever put the event on, it's on their schedule, it's on their timeline. If you go to a convention and you see people have different booths and different vendors, the vendors don't decide when the event is, the people having the event. It was so clear that was not his personal event. He was a part of an event. So right there, he did not have control over the date. And he said in their co-parenting contract or paper agreement, on special days, the other parent can have the children. And when the children are the authors of the book, that's another thing. It wasn't just his book. It was the children's book. They worked on it. Their names were on it. They were there to do a reading of it. It was their book as well. They became authors. If that's a special day, I don't know what is. Your children are published authors writing a book. She was just mad because it wasn't her book. Let's be real. She was pissed because it wasn't her book. She was pissed it was Martell's book. Point blank, period. And she was being petty and she was being messy. Point blank, period. And there comes a point in time where you have to stop saying, this selfish man who cheated on me, and get over it. You are the woman who stayed. You were the woman who stayed. It takes two to tango. You stayed in that marriage for how many years knowing he was cheating on you? It's time to take personal responsibility for stuff. Melody 100% was pissed off that Martell was actually doing something positive. He was doing it with the children, and that Martell was actually healing and moving on with his life. And I don't think Melody liked it very much. I think she was lying through her teeth when she said that he only told her the day before. That was a lie, because she'd already said on the phone with her mom how he had before was asking about getting the girl's hair done. And then she was in her feelings and she was like, oh, like, when did I not have the girl's hair done? Like, remember before last year when he said the kids weren't dirty and that I wasn't a good mom? She brought up all this stuff that happened in the past. And trust me, I get it. Stuff that people say in the past hurt. It's not always easy to forgive and forget. I get it. But there comes a time in your life where you need to take personal responsibility for the decisions you made. Forgive yourself. Forgive the person. Doesn't mean you need to rock with that person. Doesn't mean you take the person back. Doesn't mean you become a doormat to that person. But you get to a point of, what is it worth? Is teaching my ex-husband a lesson worth disappointing my children? And to me, that answer is no. Can you imagine how those children felt when they were unable to go to the book signing of a book that they wrote with their father? Their names were on it. They put the work in. They were supposed to do it. And Martell even said that Melanie or Melania, whatever, like, they have beautiful names, but they sounded like to me, was really, really upset about it. There has to come a time in your personal life where you need to really think about, what is it worth? It wasn't his choice what the day was on, and the children wrote the book. And she was clearly lying about the timeline. Clearly lying, because she was doing FaceTime with her mother. And she was talking about different times where he had emailed and he had called. But then she said to Tiffany, oh, I only knew the day before. So you got caught lying. It's on tape. There comes a point in time where you have to take personal responsibility. Melody, you stayed with a man who was cheating on you. I get it. A lot of women stay. A lot of men stay. Women cheat too. I get it. I actually personally don't even think cheating is a necessarily a deal breaker in relationships. I think there can be infidelity. People can move through it and still have a relationship. I mean, it's life and we're human beings. But there comes a point in time where Melody needs to stop playing the victim, stop blaming Martell for everything, and decide to grow up a little bit. Because what she did with the book signing was petty. And the person and the people who really, really got her in that situation was the children. Because children are not dumb. Children are not stupid. Children know exactly what's going on. And it is very clear that mommy was being spiteful to daddy, and I didn't go to my book signing. Point blank, period. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. I have to go. I have to get ready for tonight. Okay, YMC says, I watched the smile on Martell's face when he was leaving the office with Kimmy and Maurice. Like, okay, now I don't care about whatever Maurice may do. Yeah, Kimmy messed up. Hey, Donna D, I think Martell is a producer too. I think that's the only reason he's on the show as much as he is. So true. Yeah, because I think they went into it as a couple, right? I just made sure Martell is a big no. How about Martell volatile actions is the reason he's not having more screen time? Hey, Miss D, Mel could have had some understanding with the situation, especially since it included her children. 100%. Youngwood says, ooh, have fun. Who's in it? I think Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, right? It's a screening. It's not it's a special screening, so I don't think he'll be there. It's not a premiere or anything, but I think Tom Cruise is in it. It's like the remake. Hey, Donna D, Martell decided to be a part of the event on Melody's time. Choose an event you to attend on your time. Listen, Melody, there will be a point in time where Melody's gonna need the kids on a date that Martell has them. That's why it's called co-parenting. This tit for tat, petty, only hurts the children at the end of the day. No, Melody, grow up. Sorry. When it comes to the children, like, miss me with that crap. Hey, Callie T, Martell is a trash narcissist. He can book an Uber ride. Whoa, not there. Hey, Jasmine Sherry. Well, Martell should have made it known what he wanted to do before committing to it. Hey, OMC, Melody has been trying to prove to the guys he's been cheating since season 1. She has used everyone now. Stormy. Hey, Jasmine Sherry, jealous of what a gain for Martell and a gain for the kids. Jealous of what a gain for Martell is a gain for the kids. That's not how she views it. If she thought a gain for Martell was a gain for the kids, then she would have let her kids go to the book signing. No. Melody does not see a gain for Martell as a gain for the kids. Not how acrimonious they are. Not how at odds they are. Not how much they're still fighting. There's still too much fighting between the two of them for her to clearly say a gain for Martell is a gain for the kids. That's a very mature observation to have, and Melody does not have it. Miss T, it also would have been a great look for Mel to film her being the bigger person with Martell. Exactly. She would have won so many brownie points, but she got caught lying. Because if you go back and watch the episode, when she's packing, she FaceTimes her mother. And when she's talking to her mother, she's talking about when he's called, when he's emailed, and all of this stuff. But then she talks to Tiffany because Tiffany checked her on it and was like, yo, what happened at the book signing? Martell was upset. Oh, no, he only reached out the day before. Missy, children are not stupid and they will learn the truth about their father on their own time. Exactly. This is the thing. Children are not stupid. They will learn the truth about Martell, but they're also going to learn the truth about Melody too. And you have to remember, children love their parents no matter what. Children are not stupid. Hey, Donna D, I hope the children realize that it was Martell's fault for not planning on a book signing during his time with them. This was not the only event they could have their book signing. Nah, miss me with that one, babe. YMCM, this is just it. Stormy was brought to be Melody's new flunky, period. Exactly. Stormy was brought on to be Melody's flunky, 100%. And the book signing thing, I respect everyone's opinion, and everyone's opinion is always welcome here, but it's too obvious that she really was just being spiteful. She was just being spiteful. She was. Again, I don't have kids, but if my niece was having a book signing and I was really upset with her mom or her dad about it and blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't even know what analogy to use. We'll just use children. I'm sorry. I'm not disappointing a child to spite the caretaker. I'm not going to disappoint my daughter. I'm not going to disappoint my son to spite the father. And that's exactly what she did. This whole his time, her time is petty semantics to justify her trying to spite him. If it was his event and he picked the date, I could see it. If it was just his book, I could see it. But the fact that he had no control over the date and the fact that the kids were the co-authors, that's enough for me. It's enough. Ms. T says, enjoy your night. Thank you. Miss but Bad Weather Stormy is the no for me. Same. Gotta go look for her brand. I agree. Dottie Mel is brilliant friend. She may have to start bringing in her sorority sisters to highlight some of her functions. I know. All right, you guys. I'm getting out of here. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was so much fun. I love you guys. I've missed you guys. But we'll be back for more. So always subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. I know some people said they weren't getting alerted to my videos. So go ahead, hit that notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. If you're catching it on the replay, comment below. If you agree, comment. If you disagree, comment. All thoughts, opinions, commentary are welcome here. We are all inclusive. Whether you agree or disagree, you are welcomed here. So everybody come and have fun. Have a good kiki. Have a great night. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you next time. Woo woo. Bye. Oh, you guys. Oh, wait, I'm going to get this last comment. Yeah, now the kids on the book signing tour. I agree the children should have been at their own book signing period. It was important to children. I know. I agree 100%. See, I'm still trying to get out of here. So many good comments. Aw, thank you. I will. Thank you, Donna D. So many good comments. Thank you, Just Me Cherie. Thank you. Thank you, YMC. Thank you. Thank you, Miss T. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate you all. Okay, I'm going to go get ready. I love you guys. I will see you later. Bye.
3 can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. Have You Seen Me seamlessly picks up where Gossip Girl leaves off, but with more sex, more lies, and more dead bodies a la How to Get Away with Murder and You. When a coveted member of a group of entitled yet ambitious 20-somethings goes missing, their deadly secret is threatened to be exposed. But the real question is, who will be next? Read Have You Seen Me by creator Candy Washington on Amazon Kindle Vella, or listen and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts.